Stops in college. Previous years in college, I should said. Who is your favorite player in the 2025 NFL Draft? Let me know in the comments section of today's video. Yeah, I mentioned the Feast of Famine. Walter Nolan had a sack and a half more than Derek Harmon, for Oregon did. Derek Harmon had about double the pressures, however. So those types of things, big picture, certainly do matter. Both. Those guys are 300 plus Michigan State to Oregon. Transfer. This is a disruptive big boy on the interior who I think is going to be in this kind of mid to late round one range. But it's a good DT class, so some might fall out of round one. Jay Campbell out of Alabama. He can run, he can blitz, he can cover, he can do a lot of different things for you. I've seen some buzz about people wondering if he's a linebacker or an edge. I just think he's a linebacker, maybe in that Anthony Barr type of mold. But I'd play him off ball first and foremost. I'm a little surprised Mel is as low on Luther Burton as he is. He is incredible after the catch. Now the production was down this year. The Missouri offense, in general, was not particularly great. But Luther Burton, with what he's able to do after the catch, makes him a really impactful piece. I think as like a number 2 receiver, a lot of teams could use that type of player. Nick Scorton was better at Purdue. Not as good after transferring to Texas. A&M, he's got a good frame, good size. He's listed at 6'4", 28, 5. Sometimes I think had a bit of bad weight on him this year. He's a power rusher, but he and his teammate Shamar Stewart check in the top 25 here. Shamar Stewart's going to be a really tough one for me. The size is incredible, 66,290. He moves incredibly well. He got plenty of pressures. He had 4 TFLs in a sack and a half this season. That was it over the course of his entire collegiate career. Shamar Stewart had 4.5 sacks. He never topped out more than 1.5 in a single campaign. So it kind of like very different sizes and frames. Like it's like DFO. Hey, you're a great athlete. Why couldn't you produce? Why couldn't you get sacks? That's going to make him I think, a tough valuation. James Pierce, the Tennessee edge rusher. I don't trust them against the run. And Tennessee didn't either, but pressures, kind of in that, maybe not as off the field. Layden Randy, Gregory Mold. Pierce has talent. Kenneth Grant, the other Michigan defensive tackle. Wait till the combine, We're putting him at 25 right now when he puts up Jordan Davis type numbers. I would not be surprised if we're putting him back in the top 15 AM drafts. This is a highly product or highly athletic football player who I still think has room to grow from a snap-toe, snap consistency standpoint, who did Mel Kiper leave off of his 2025 NFL draft. Big board, plenty of names I'm sure you want to see on there. Drop them for me in the comments of today's show. Couple names I want to mention. Amuka, I think is a potential round 1 pickup wide receiver. I think he's worst case receiver. 3, I know have at wide receiver. 2, depend on where you count. Travis Hunter is athlete, receiver, corner, whatever. Josh Conley at Oregon could be a late round 1 pick. I think Armand Mayo is. I would honestly question how far. I'll just outright say it. I don't think Mel's gotten to him yet, because CU, he's got him as the number 2 guard. We've seen this before, of Mel drastically changing something later on in the season. I would bet he's not fully done, at least with MIU. Mike Green is the Marshall edge rusher who, the more I watch, the more I like, frankly. And I could see very much being a round 1 pick. And then Jay Barron at Texas. I don't know where he goes. I've seen pretty wide disagreements there, but he's got that dog in him. And as a versatile corner, I am a big fan of his game.